Welcome back to Heal with Divinity. We continue our conversation in this part two with Dr. Poonam Tripathi. And this particular episode is especially important for parents who are navigating the emotional storms of adolescence. Teenage years are a phase where energy shifts very, very dramatically. So there's, identity, independence, self-expression, and combining all this into one thread is the emotional volatility that children feel, and it's at its peak. So what many parents that I've often seen don't realize is that teenage struggles are not just about hormones. These are like reflections of very, very deep energetic patterns which may have begun very, very long time ago. Like in our previous episode with Dr. Poonam, where she was talking about energy imprints that come in right from the time of the womb. And sometimes it's also even prior to that. So, today in this particular episode, we're going to explore and try to understand teens, not how to control them, but through a conscious energy and emotional awareness. So, welcome back, Poonam, to Heal with Divinity.
Thank you, Keerthana, for inviting me again.
So, Poonam, let's get to the heart of this entire discussion. Okay, why do teenage years often bring in rebellion, emotional distance? Most often than not, it is mothers who feel that my child is going away from me, or why does it bring in misunderstandings between parents and children?
See, in teenage, first thing, there is a lots of changes child is going through. First thing is this, their self has lots of struggle
Hmm.
because there are hormonal changes, there are energetic changes, ego start to develop, and they are looking for their identity. They start to feel themselves as an individual.
Correct.
Previously, they were so much attached to the parents in initial years, so they don't have the ego and their personal identity. But when they are getting older, so even these things are their own exploration. So they are trying to understand themselves at that
Correct.
time.
Correct.
So that is very tender duration. And so many things like we have talked in our previous part, so many things what the seed has been sowed
Hmm.
now they starts to come out
Right. Right.
during the womb, during the initial years. And one thing we need to understand that in initial year child is totally dependent on us.
Hmm.
100% the child is dependent on us. That time how we reacted towards them, the child didn't had any option except to take it.
Correct.
Because we all saw, we who are the parents, they know if you will slap your child, even the child will come to you and cry.
Correct.
Okay, so so many our reactions and their suppressions
Hmm.
starts to reflect back, especially in this duration.
Correct.
And the another point, as a parent, we are tend to react in the same way. We are not able to understand that now it is not that small child.
Correct.
He has his own brain, his own opinion, his own perspective. So now it is not going to be like this one-way communication.
Hmm.
I feel it is right, so you should do this. If our way of conversation or way of thinking is in this way, then the child is going to rebel. They have their own struggle. And we are, as a parent, I always feel that I'm at the bigger point. Okay, I have more strength, I have more understanding. So
Correct.
rather than expecting my child should understand my problems, my things, so I should have that capacity to understand them. So there are many factors in this time. They have their own struggle, and the parents are not consciously that understanding and accepting that
Correct.
this is not that small child that I will say, I feel it is right, you should do this. No, now it will not work. And if you are trying to force or impose, then the bomb will blast.
True. I think it's like, even from an energy perspective, right? This is also a phase where children who are in their adolescent phase, they're also energetically cutting away the umbilical cord from their parents.
Exactly.
So again, going back, to the energy perspective, what do you think is really happening in a teenager's energy field? And, how do their parents' unresolved patterns trigger or amplify that? Because we have spoken a lot about the trigger that happens because of parents' unresolved conflicts in the previous episode with regard to children in the 0 to 7 years age group. But how does it trigger in the teenagers' field?
As I said previously also, two things are very important in this age. Their ego is developing and their individuality is developing. So
Hmm.
they need that safe place. They
Correct.
need that safe place because they themselves are discovering themselves.
Hmm.
So there are so much physical, energetic changes are happening. And nowadays it becoming more difficult because of so many changes in the society. And the thing is now they are not only in the influence of the parents. Their circle is expanding. They
Hmm.
have lots of friends. There are so many things. So many factors are there and they are exploring. So there are so many changes are happening. And as we observe, what I felt during seeing lots of cases, parents are not able to accept their changes. It's difficult for them to accept this shift that the person whom I call and just he or she will run towards me. Now I'm calling 5 times and
Correct.
he's or she is just ignoring me. So
Correct. Correct.
parents needs lots of patience
Yeah.
and like to provide them that safe place and space. A very important thing is to give them space.
Correct.
Give them a space and especially like I observe this. And again, listening capacity is the best skill we need to develop as a parent in
Right.
early ages and especially in this time.
Absolutely. So, Poonam, when we talk to parents about this, right? There are times when parents say, "No, nothing happened in my childhood. My childhood was fantastic. I have a great relationship with my parents. Like, it was there even then. It is there even now." But do you have any points, like a checklist or something that parents can use to recognize, when their teen's defiance, or when the teen is beginning to withdraw, they're actually mirroring the parents' own unhealed emotions?
Yeah, there are many things that can be checked. If because I told you now, when we are adult, that is the inner child. That is the inner child. When I talk to the client, okay, when I will ask, no, no, everything was fine, everything was fine. And when we do the regressions, because as an adult, now we think everything is fine.
Right.
But those unresolved, unhealed wounds in our childhood, those are still there. And that this line I previously said, it is a chain. It will keep going on until one person will break it.
Correct.
So patterns are going into the next generation, until one person, anyone in any generation, will consciously understand it and break it.
Absolutely.
So that healing is very much important. And we see with lots of cases that only while working on the parent, I have so many cases where I never met with the child. I
Hmm.
never met with the child. Only the parent came with lots of issues with the child. The child has this, all these things, teenage things. They are not talking to us. And They are now withdrawing from the study. I have the cases where the child left the study. When the situation is this, child will never come to
Hmm.
talk. Okay, go to the therapist, then we have, so the child mostly avoid, they don't come. So
Correct.
I worked only with the parents. When the parent healed, when the parent healed with lots of sessions, therapies, counseling, and there is a no conversation with the child. This is something amazing that we need to understand how the energy moves.
Correct.
If the person who has challenges, you never met him, you never have any conversation with that person, but if parent, with parent you are working and the parent is healing, the
The child
child is
automatically
changing.
feels.
The
Yes.
child is changing by itself. So this, whatever is coming from here to here, this person broke that. And here the change is very profound and significant change in the
Right.
child. So 100%. That's why na, in genetics, we think that oh, no, 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 only the diseases and all these things got transferred to our progeny. No, all these energetic things also transfer to our progeny.
I
So
think
if we
disease,
don't want, then we need to heal ourselves.
right, even diseases are nothing but, stored negative emotions which have not been
100%.
released. They've gotten like,
100%.
suppressed, and finally it comes as a physical
Disease on body.
issue.
100%. Mostly diseases are psychosomatic.
Yes. So let's take this, one step further. Okay. So let's say a parent's energetic state has got either stress or resentment or guilt. May not have come because of something from their parents, but maybe because of their current situation and circumstances, right? Environmentally shaped. How does this affect a teen's confidence and emotional stability?
I found very exceptional cases where that challenge is related to child,
Hmm.
only to the child. It was not related to these things. Very exceptional cases. Otherwise, we need to dig out the parents.
Hmm.
How how is their emotional state? Okay. Like the fearful mother. Okay. If the mother is most of the time in the fear and she is expecting, even she is like encouraging a lot, and she is consciously doing so many things that my children should be confident. But
Hmm.
energetically, your fear get transferred to the child. It
Hmm.
will go. And recently I had a case. It was a adult. Teenager will become adult. If your life is very good, there is no physical issues.
Hmm.
Still, you are feeling lots of fear and anxiety. So this is the case when the parents had lots of struggle. They had the physical situations. They had the financial challenges. Parents had the financial challenges and all those things. But their energies were anxiety, stress, fear, what will happen, what will happen. So this thing, even they never say this directly to the child. As a parent, we try to avoid whatever the challenges we are going, we face it by, and we try to even their parents also. When I was asking, that person is saying, no, nothing was there, everything was fine. But when we
Hmm.
digged out, we found it. That the parents have lots of financial challenges. There was lots of things are going inside the family. So the child absorbed those fear and anxiety in him. And now he is totally unable to understand. When everything is fine, why I feel so much of fear and anxiety?
True.
So they absorb the pattern, even it is not coming from the grandparents now. It is the parents' situation. It is
Hmm.
the parents' situation, how they are feeling, how they are struggling. Even they are hiding from the children. They are not discussing. Mostly parents don't discuss the financial challenges. They don't discuss with the child. But your constant state of emotion,
Hmm.
the child will absorb those energies. They will absorb those energies. So energetically, things get transferred to the child. And more than your behavior and the word, it's very profound, very strong. The energy,
That's
what
true.
you are carrying, it is much, much heavier than your words, what you are saying to the child or your behaviors. It is much more stronger. If
True.
it is alignment, then this is the best combination. Like energy is high, word, behavior, both are high, and it will be. It is directly connected. If your energy is high, your words and behavior, it will starts to reflect. So
Absolutely.
100% it transfers.
Absolutely. So, how do you think parents can, balance setting, very healthy boundaries, especially when they're still, like, in a way to hold on to a very loving, open, and a very safe, energetic space for their teen? Because, as you said, and even I completely agree that, teens are, or adolescence is a phase when the ego is forming. So, the child wants their own space because they're exploring themselves, and you need to give them that space to explore themselves. So, how do you think that they can set very healthy boundaries without losing out on the love or the open communication?
See, to give them a space is very important. And another thing, we scared a lot.
Mm,
We scared a lot for everything. We as a parent want that my child should not do any mistake or suffer. This
correct.
thing is very strong in our mind that we try to avoid our children to explore. No, no, don't do this. It is not good for you. No, it will happen. It will happen. And these resistance, okay, they want to explore. See,
Hmm.
parents' intentions is always good, 100%. Parents wants only wellness of the child,
Correct.
but unknowingly, from their fear and all those things, many things arise in the child. We need to understand that our child is also a soul, okay?
Hmm.
He or she will learn from his mistakes rather than stopping them. And that create na, how much you try to stop and control. Your controlling create in them in a wrong way. When you are trying to, one thing is, okay, one thought is coming to me, I want to do this, I want to explore this. It is very uh, good energy. I want to explore this. Okay,
Hmm.
you will go, you will see, maybe you will like it or don't like it. But someone is saying, no, you will not going to do that. I am telling you, you will not go. I will not give you money for this. Then this thing. Originally, it was very right energy of the child. He or she wants to just explore. But
Hmm.
because of this thing, then ego gets hurt. Then as a reaction, it come now 100% I'm going to do. See,
Rebelliousness.
yeah, see what you can do. But
Yes.
then the child's energy is wrong. When
Correct.
he's or she is only like to prove their parents. They are doing so many things which maybe if we allowed them, like in a safe thing, we allowed them, now maybe they will, and they don't like it. Then to leave that is very healthy. But because we have lots of fear, we have lots of fear, and we try to do our best that my child should not like to do any mistake. So, little bit you can say love should be there, but what you said, na, healthy boundaries and to give the space to explore and little bit detachment. It's okay because I believe the thing which you will learn from your experience that is very deep inside you and it will be always for your entire life. If we have a healthy relationship with our child now, even whatever he or she wants to explore now, we help them to explore because as an adult you have all the knowledge. That's why I was saying now the source of information is too much because of internet,
Correct.
but those sources are not giving you entire and authentic information.
Correct.
So if the parent is giving you the information, even helping you to experience,
Right. Right.
so then it will be very much safer. And if they don't like, they will leave it.
That's true. So, again, Poonam, going back to what you were talking about, parents also struggle a lot of emotional, storms, right? They also have this emotional upheaval when kids hit their adolescence. There's everything, a lot of things happening right from the energy level that, as healers, we understand, and, at the physical level as well. So, what are some of the energy aware ways, to respond instead of like reacting in these intense moments? Like, again, you were talking about this in the previous episode as well as in this, right? Learn to respond rather than to react. So some energy ways that you have, some energy aware ways that you have.
See, one thing, and it's not only with the child, with everyone. When anyone is in intense emotion, okay, those conversations, those statements never create the impact for which you are saying. Whatever it is, you means it's an argument. The child is saying no, what I am saying it is right. I am saying no, what I am saying it is right. So one thing is like take a pause. Take a
Hmm.
pause. We should not continue the conversations in intense emotions.
Right, right.
Okay. We can say, okay, we'll talk to me. Take a time, energies will settle down. Even you will be able to see and reflect. Even the child will also able to see and reflect. And
Absolutely.
when like in a stable energy, you will have the conversation. Child is putting his or her point. You
Hmm.
also put your point. So those conversation will be healthy conversation, and maybe you will get a solution for what the arguments and things are going on. So, like in intense emotion, there is no point to having the discussion, throwing the things, and all those things. It will only create the distance. We should understand and accept it. There will be difference of opinion 110%. No one in this entire world, including my child, will have the same opinion, same perspective for the thing.
Right, right.
So there
Absolutely.
will be 100% difference of opinion. They will see it differently, I will see it differently. But to share our opinion, we should have that environment. And energy works a lot.
True,
If you are listening with respect, your children's perspective, they also listen your perspective with respect. Acceptance works a lot.
true.
Okay. If I'm not saying that whatever the child is saying, you allow to do them everything. It is not like this. It is the thing is like the acceptance. At least I should accept that he has his own perspective. He thinks like in this way. My perspective is this. Our perspectives are different, but I'm not saying that you are wrong.
Hmm.
This wrong word, very heavy energy. If you say you are wrong, you in reflection, you are getting the only thing you are wrong.
Hmm. Right. So we spoke about parents who are probably not aware, and you did give like a good understanding of how to understand whether there's some baggage that they're carrying. But let's say we are now talking to a cohort, or in our audience we have a cohort of parents who realize that they may have unknowingly passed on anxiety or limiting beliefs to their child, right? So, what is the very first step to repair that energetic connection?
First thing, you start to heal yourself.
Mm.
Children get so much benefit. As I shared you one experience now, where the pattern from the parents' childhoods get transferred to the child.
Correct.
Okay. So if parent starts to work on themselves, this chain will break and there the shift happens. So awareness is very much important. Reflection is very much important. And I'm telling you, it's never late.
Hmm.
It's never late. No matter the situation is in how much extent is complicated.
Hmm.
but it's never late to start.
Right.
We
Right.
did lots of cases, and even you know that people come only when it is at
Too
the
late.
peak. Yeah, it is true at the peak, but it helps a lot. You will break that change. And it's never, parents should never feel like the guilt about it. It's very much important. Even if when we have the discussion, because whatever has happened, it is unknowingly.
Right. Absolutely.
As I
Absolutely.
said, parents always have very, very good intention towards the child. They dedicate their entire life for their children. Their children's happiness matters them a lot. So their intentions are very good. So as we have the empathy for the, we learn the empathy. So as
Correct.
we have the empathy for the other person, we should have the empathy for ourselves. Okay, if I'm knowing, even I have lots of, when we talk and have a discussion, have classes. So then the mothers start to feel so guilty that I transferred this, my child is like this because of me. So there is nothing about the guilt because you didn't do it intentionally. Who will do it intentionally and knowingly? No one will do.
Right.
So it's never late, and there is nothing is like the guilt. The thing is, it starts to work on your healing, your awareness, and it will help your child. First, it will help you, and then it will help your child also. So this is something very important. Never go into the guilt. If you know that okay, it has happened, and you are understanding that okay, during the pregnancy, during the initial years, I was in the job, so there was a lots of stress. I reacted like this to my child. Now my child is like this. So the good thing is now we have awareness. So there is never late. Whenever you have that awareness, start to work on yourself. Make the shift in yours. I saw even the 16-year, 17-year, 19-year-old children. When the parents starts to change and heal, it always reflect in the children. So that parent can do anytime. Anytime. It's never late and nothing is like a guilt.
Yeah, if I could just add one thing here from my own experience, because I also I've always been a working mother, and there was a time when my older child was, months old when I had to get back to work, right? And this was a time when we only had the 12 weeks of maternity leave. It was not the 6 months that's there now. So there was a lot of maternal guilt that I carried. And then there was stress from the workplace also that would come back home. And there have been times when, consciously I've sat and spoken to her. Now, of course, she's an adolescent herself and we're having this conversation where I've consciously spoken to her and I've said, I'm sorry if, you felt anything from that time because that was my situation. And I know somewhere subconsciously it is also working on her because I see energy shifts in her. What I'm telling her is also working at the subconscious level.
What you said now, this to say sorry to your child. If you are feeling, and there is nothing like shame on it.
Absolutely.
Okay, we are like the child is a soul. He is developing and growing on consciousness level. I'm also a soul growing and learning. If
Okay.
I'm feeling something and I'm saying consciously sorry with the feeling, if I have that feeling, yeah, unknowingly this has happened to me, and I'm saying sorry, it creates magic. It
Absolutely.
creates magic in the
Absolutely.
child.
I mean, you have seen, I have seen, we've seen the shifts happening when we do it at the subconscious level. So when we do it at the conscious level, the shift is happening, double fold, right? Poonam, great conversation. And, before we end this conversation, there's one question that I definitely want to ask you, which is if you could leave, parents of teenagers with one message about conscious energy, empathy, and self healing, what would that message be?
First thing, very important point that needs to be deeply integrated inside us. Child is not the thing to be molded. Child is the soul to be unfolded.
Hmm.
So when I have this deep understanding, I will not, I will never try to mold him as per my expectations or whatever I had the vision that my
Hmm.
child should be. I'm like this, my child should be like this, his father is like this, he should be like this. This is something very much important, that We need to understand the child's interest, child's individuality, and we should provide that environment to bloom in his own individuality.
Right.
I believe very strongly that every human being born on earth have some unique gift.
Absolutely.
There is 100% will be something inside the child that he or she will be awesome in doing that.
Absolutely.
As a parent, we should not have a picture in our mind that my child should be like this, even in the career, even in the personality. Nothing. There is no picture behind it.
Hmm.
It will create with him or her how it will be unfolded. So, if we can provide that environment rather than imposing our expectation, our pictures, and sometimes our own fear.
Hmm.
I didn't had a good career. For example, I tried, but I was not able to make a good career. Now I am continuously bombarding this thing into my child. No, you should earn this much, you should earn this much, and for this you have to study hard, you have to
Right.
get first in the class, and you have to get this much percentage, only then you will get the admission. It was my thing. Okay, don't know for what the child has born, what the gift he has, and if I will help to bloom that particular gift, the child will blossom in his life. He will have the abundance with happiness and contentment
Ab-
rather than the suffocation. So, this is some very important message to all the parents. Rather than to creating a picture in our mind of our children's future, that my children should be this in career or anything, or like the personality, he should be like this, rather than let it unfold and help them, provide that safe environment. It will, because as a parent, what we want? As a parent, we want our child should be happy, healthy, successful in his or her life. This
Correct.
is the only thing what every parent wants. And this happened very naturally, effortlessly.
Hmm.
If we understand this point,
Hmm.
they will do wonder in their life if we try to understand their gifts and help them to bloom in their gifts rather
Hmm.
than to creating a pattern. This is the successful life. Okay, complete the education, then have a good graduation, then get a job of this much package. So rather than setting him into this particular format and cutting him or her to set
Hmm.
in this pattern, maybe they will reach, but they will never be happy. They will create lots of health issues, so many things.
Hmm.
So create their, help them. And nowadays, it's like we have that opportunity.
Right.
Maybe in the previous time, we don't have this much opportunity that a different talent can be like a monetized and have a good career on those things. So respect the uniqueness of the child, provide them environment to bloom rather than to set them in our mindset how my child should be. It will really, really help, and it will fulfill your final goal that my child should be happy, healthy, and like having a good career. Means the abundance. He should or she
Right.
should have a good life. This only we want. So
Right.
this is my message. If we will keep this in our mind, we will avoid to control, we will avoid to impose our expectation or our failure. Whatever way I have failed, okay, it's my life, my story. My
Correct.
child will create his or her life. So help them to create their life as per their uniqueness, their gifts, and their talents.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, no, no. What you've said is very, very true and very pertinent, because I think we should stop trying to live our dreams, unfulfilled
Exactly.
dreams, and our unfulfilled
Through them.
desires through the child, right? Because they have their own story. We don't know what. they are here for. But the thing is, you keep identifying what these strengths are and help them build on those strengths.
Exactly. 100% true.
So, Poonam, thank you so much for this very, very enriching conversation across these two episodes. And thank you for guiding us through this very incredibly important conversation. You've helped us understand that, parenting is not about controlling your child, it's more about understanding ourselves as parents. So that when we become stronger and emotionally more stable and grounded, our children automatically, also become more grounded and stable. So, to all the viewers of Heal with Divinity, please remember that when we heal, our children also feel the healing. And when we as parents shift our energy, they also shift very naturally. Because understand that in the family constellation, they are our progeny. So they're ahead of us. What happens in the past, what happens with the ancestors, what happens with us, it also makes a shift naturally into the future, right? And when we choose awareness, we create a generation of emotionally free people. So, once again, to all our listeners, thank you very much for joining us in this two-part journey with Dr. Poonam and myself. May these insights that she has provided help you as a parent and help you come out from any kind of fears, any kind of sorrow, and any kind of baggage that you are carrying, and take you towards a very conscious shift where you stop reacting and you start responding to your child with more love and more understanding. So, again, I'm Keerthana Venkatesh, and you're listening to Heal with Divinity. Until next time, stay aligned, stay compassionate, and stay divine. Thank you.